Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is DMS 11. Today's segment, I want to talk about boating safety. Boating safety. I have a boat. It's not the biggest boat in the world. It's about 17 foot or whatever, but I love it. Had it 12 years, never had a problem, never had a mishap. It's in pretty good condition. Good motor on there. I love boating. It's a good way to relax, get away, and just get the calm, serene waters around you in a nice sunny day. It's just a good relaxation. I love it. I really do. But there's a lot of safety issues dealing with boating that a lot of people who get into the hobby or the pastime don't pay particular attention to, and therefore accidents and problems may occur. First thing I want to talk about is there's required equipment that the United States Coast Guard requires that you have on your boat. It is mandatory. It is for safety reasons, and it's also just a good idea to have. So don't just go out there and buy a boat and not be familiar with some of the devices and equipment that you may need to satisfy this law or these laws, and just to be safe, just your own point of view for you and your passengers. First thing is you must have life jackets or life vests available for every person on board your boat. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't always wear a life jacket when I'm boating. I have it nearby, so that's not saying that's a good idea, but if I have passengers on, I tell passengers his life jacket, wear it if you want. If you're not, whatever. But at least have it nearby in case we do have some unforeseen circumstance which we might gotta get off the boat. Hopefully, to date, for the 14 years I've been boating, that hasn't happened, but who knows. But you must have life jackets, life vests available for everybody on board your vessel. That is mandatory. You must do that. So what I do is I have various, I only care about maybe 4 people on my boat, but I have about 5 life jackets of slightly varying sizes for the size of people I think gonna get on my boat or my friends or whatever. So that's that. Must have life jacket or vest available for everyone who boards your boat. Second thing, I believe for watercraft 16 feet or larger, you must have a throwable device, meaning a ring with a line tied to it for if man overboard, or in some cases woman overboard, and someone who can't swim, which why the hell they overboard in the first place? That's my question. But for a vessel 16 feet or longer, you must have a throwable device. I have one in my boats. Have had to use it. Hope I never do. But you should have a throwable device, so if someone gets in the water and shouldn't be, don't know how to swim, some you can pull their ass out of there. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Third thing is visual distress signals. These will be in the form of a gun that shoots pyrotechnics in the air, which gives someone an idea of your location that you're in distress. Or let's see, what's the other one? Orange distress flag, which you have on the mast, but that's only we use in daytime only. But something to say that you're in distress, and passers-by or someone can identify that you're both in distress, you broke down or whatever. Let's see. Other mandatory equipment that's necessary: fire extinguisher. You must have a fire extinguisher on the board for obvious reasons. Always check the dates of your fire extinguisher. I believe that on average they're usually good for 10 to 12 years after the date of manufacturer, but check the dates. I had my boat for 12 years. I recently had to, about a year or 2 ago, I had to change the fire extinguisher. I caught that the date had expired, and I don't want that in case, the unforeseen happens and someone just starts to catch fire on my boat. Hasn't happened, don't want it to happen, want to repair it. If it does happen, though. Alright. Also, for boats, recreational boats, they usually come installed, or you can attach some navigational lights. Navigational lights are not the equivalent of headlights or night lights, but they are for like recreational boats to a certain degree. But they more or less don't light up your way going through the channels or water at night, but they give other boaters your position. From the front of your boats, if you're looking towards your boat, and I'll make sure I say this right. If you're in front of your boat staring at your boat from the front, when you look to your left, which is actually the boater's right, navigational light should show green. It's going to tell people, or boaters rather, that's coming from your right, they have the right of way, and also what position that you're coming from. If you stand in front of your boat and look at your boat, and you look to the right, which is the boater's left, it's going to show a red light. That red light also shows position, and it's telling boaters coming from the left of you to give you the right of way. And towards the rear, which is usually elevated, is a white mast light. Those are required lights for recreational boating if you are going to be boating at night. So, like I said, they don't operate like headlights, but they are mandatory because they give your boat, they give the indication that you're out in the water to another boater. So a boater is going and say, oh, I see them red and green lights, there's another vessel nearby. It also usually denotes the position of the vessel. You should be able to distinguish what direction the vessel is traveling by which navigational light you see in a certain position. Okay, so that's navigational lights. Signaling devices. If your boat does not come equipped with a built-in horn, it is imperative that you buy an air horn. My boat doesn't have a built-in horn, so I definitely keep an air horn. Had to use it a few times. Boaters. I remember one time I was in the Calumet River. I was passing a barge, and there was some other boaters coming at me. Maybe they didn't see me because they were about this barge, so I had to signal air horn to get their attention and be like, "Oh, I'm here. Don't crash into me. I know you're trying to get around this barge. I am too. Let's do this set carefully." So, but if your boat doesn't have a built-in horn, it's imperative that you get an air horn, and test it before all your boating journeys. I usually carry 2 or 3 in case one doesn't work, but I test it before I go out, so I know that, and I keep it nearby in the helm, so in case I see some boater coming too close to me, or I think not paying attention, get their attention before we have a calamity. Here's an additional equipment that may not be required by the United States Coast Guard, but I would recommend it. Flashlights. I cannot stress the importance of having flashlights. I would say have a minimum of 5. But DMS 11, why would you say 5? In case one of them or 2 of them don't work. And I would say that 2 of them need to be those big spot beam lights. So in case you're traveling, it's real dark, you may have to turn that on and use it as a headlight so you don't crash into anything, or you don't see or you don't crash to a parked barge that you didn't know that was there. So I recommend at least having 2 of those and testing those out every time before you go out on the water. It is imperative, because when you're out on the water at night, it is not like a lighted street, like you're driving in downtown Chicago and there's street lights, traffic lights, and you can see everything. No, no, no. If you're out boating at night, it can be pitch black. And if you're not aware of, if you don't know your waterways and what kind of traffic is coming through the waterways or where you're at, like I said, you can run into something. You can run aground. You can, if you're on a river where there's commercial traffic going through there, you could run into a parked barge, or you may not see a barge coming at you. You have to be careful. But at night, you're not supposed to drive faster than no wake, like 5 miles an hour. And I see a lot of jackasses drive real fast at night. Crazy them. But I don't do that. I drive maybe a little bit more than no wake, maybe 10 miles an hour. But you're not supposed to go speeding in a channel at night and everything's pitch black around. You're just asking for disaster. And I remember one time I was on the Calumet River, and apparently a lot of the tugboats and the barges at night, sometimes they don't exhibit their headlights unless it's necessary, because they know the water, and they have those sonar detectors detect if something's in the water. But once I was boating at night, I'm thinking that everything's clear ahead of me. Next thing you know, there was a big old headlight came up in front of me. It wasn't real, like directly in front of me, but it was coming up. There was a tugboat pushing some barges, but he was traveling without his headlights on. But apparently they do that, and I guess they'll turn it on if they see that there's a vessel in the way that is coming up. But I guess, I don't know, serve energy, whatever, and they know the waterways. They will tend to travel without headlights. You might see some oscillating marker lights. Sometimes they are very dim, and you can barely see them until you get up close to the barge. But sometimes the tugboats are moving at night and they do not have their headlights on. So be advised of that. If you are traveling in a channel with commercial traffic going through there, i.e. tugboats with barges, be very careful at night, because one will pop up on you and you may not even know it if you're not being attentive and expectant. So I'm always, when I'm traveling on different rivers, Calumet River, the Ohio River, Mississippi River, whatever those rivers that got commercial traffic coming through there, Cuyahoga River in Ohio did that once. Be expecting a barge to pop up at any time, or even a big old ship, at any time. I was in the Cuyahoga River, downtown Cleveland. One time, me and some friends living in Cleveland Heights. We were out there to do some recreational boating. Went around the corner. There was a big old ship, huge, coming our way. And I'm like, oh hell, let's get the hell out the way of this big old thing. And all those bridges had to open, everything. That thing was huge. It was amazing that it could fit in a channel like the Cuyahoga River. But that thing was huge. But when you're traveling on waterways where commercial traffic comes through there, be expecting barges, tugboats, or even ships at all times. Be expected at all times. Next thing to carry, I think is important: batteries for your flashlight. What good is the 5 flashlights if you don't have backup batteries when one of them burns out, or 5 of them burns out? So I would say carry an assortment of necessary batteries on your boat so that you are never without lights. I cannot stress that enough. I carry a big old box of various size batteries, to accommodate all the flashlights and spotlights I may need to use on my boats. Okay. Next thing is an anchor. I do not believe that anchors are required on recreational vessels in all states. In the state of Ohio, it is. I read that, and I've been boating in Ohio many times, but I'm not sure about most of the other states. But an anchor is always good to have, whether it's a mechanical anchor or a manual anchor. So if you just somewhere and you want to just stop the boat and you don't want to keep drifting too far away, drop anchor. So for the most part, it's like putting on your parking brake. So your boat is not gonna, once it gets to the point of where that line ends and the anchor's already at the bottom of the water, you may pivot on a half a radius, on the radius or whatever, but you're not gonna just float far away. You're gonna stay within this little circle of the radius or diameter of the circle, whatever. Versus if you just stopped in the water and you don't have an anchor, you're not going to be staying in the exact same position you're in. You might end up being brushed away into traffic, oncoming marine traffic, or being pushed into a ground to some land nearby or whatever. So it's always good to be in a slightly open space where the boaters can get around you. You're not in the path of commercial traffic, but to drop anchor, and you should be safe. You just want to chill there for a while, stand the other. But be advised, be away from commercial traffic, because the barge is not going to go around you. So mooring lines and fenders. Lines to tie your boats to the dock, and fenders to help protect it from scraping up against the dock. That goes without saying. That doesn't need much explanation. Let's see. GPS navigational device. Just like your GPS in your car, you have one in a boat. Usually the GPS device you get shows the waterways that you are on, and it's a very useful device. I cannot stress the importance of having one, even though it may not be required by the Coast Guard. Let's see. First aid kit. Oh yeah, I need a first aid kit. I haven't had a major situation where I need a first aid kit, but I had a minor one. where I was doing something to the boat and prior to launching, and I cut myself and I was bleeding. So first aid kit was imperative. I was able to get an alcohol wipe myself off, and put a band-aid on it. So first aid kits are imperative. Keep one, if not two of them in your boat. A real good one, not just a small one, but a good first aid kit. Let's see what else we got here. A tool kit. Just like you get a toolkit in your car, or if you don't, shame on you. You should have a toolkit in your boat. Some of the things, may miss out on a few things here, but some of the things the toolkit should have are screwdrivers, replacement fuses. Locate what your fuses are, so you can know what type of fuse is you may need to replace it with. Extra light bulbs for your navigational lights. Usually they use the same bulbs as are used in some cars, so if you could just match out the bulb, go to your AutoZone or Murray's and match up the bulb, no big deal, but you should carry those extra bulbs. Jumper cables, I would recommend those too. I know this may not be true of all boat batteries, but my boat batteries are 12 volts. I mean, I could jump it from a car, which one day I had to. And it was kind of embarrassing, but, well, not embarrassing, but because I saved the day. But me and a buddy had went to take the boat out, and the boat would not start up. It would not. It just wasn't getting any juice. I took the battery out and jumped it off my light truck. Put it back in, good as new. It also let me know it's time to get a new battery. So after that trip, I got a new battery. But if your boat is a 12-volt battery, if you're out there in the water and you're broke down, you may need to jump it, maybe off another boat, or maybe you might want to carry a always charged a self-contained portable jumper, because you being out there in the water, you're not going to have all the traffic that you'll be by if you were in a car and you need to jump. It'll be much easier to be in a car at night, find someone who needs to jump, than it is out in no man's land at night on a boat and need to jump. So keep that in mind. Let's see what else we got on this list here. Okay. Alright, said extra marine oil. Whatever oil your boat utilizes, I would say keep the bottle on the boat, because what I do is normally I top off right before I go out on the boat, but just keep that on the boat. Also, keep some, I'm not trying to promote name brands, but Stable. I use that. I like it very much. Gas stabilizer, gas preservative. Every time you add fuel to your boat, add the necessary amount of Stable so the gas doesn't get stale. Do that, but I always carry some of that extra on the boat. That's mainly. There's a few more trinkets I got on my boat, but I'm gonna feel like going out in the garage and look at it right now. So, but basically, I just want to highlight boater safety. Those of y'all that have boats, if I missed on anything, or if you have any suggestions in addition to what I said, let me know. I do not know everything, and I like to have a interchange of information so everyone is smarter than they were at the beginning of this video. So if I left some things out, some other tips I didn't put in there that you want to add on, by all means, add it on. Let me know. So, but anyway, for those of y'all who have boats, and for those of y'all who want boats, it's a nice pastime, but you have to be careful. Okay, boats are not like cars. Okay, it may feel like it's a car, go fast like a car, but when you're out there in the water will have its way with you if you don't respect the water and know how to deal with it. But other than that, once you get the safety issues in check, boating is fun. I don't want to have a boat till the day I die. I don't know when I'm getting rid of this one, because if it doesn't break down, I'm not getting rid of it. It doesn't make a point to get another boat, have to save or finance $10,000-$20,000. I have my boat, got a few scratches on there, but the engine is top notch. And I started up. I went out on a few times this year. First time it started up real quick. Which normally it takes forever to start up the first start. But it's a very pleasurable hobby. You just have to be safe and know what the hell you are doing, so you don't end up a casualty. So, for all you guys and girls who are boaters, or even do jet skis, you like the water as much as I do, man, have fun, be safe. Later, guys and gals.